What up, everyone? Michael Lawrence here, also now known as MichaelBePetty, and I got fucking roasted. Like, I legitimately got roasted by our quarter-ton queen, Amberlynn Reid. Amberlynn Reid. I am legitimately shooketh. My whole body is quivering. I'm waddling around. I can't even make it to the bathroom without getting winded anymore. And I just am beside myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know where this campaign came from against me. It's literally out of nowhere, and I am just so shook to my entire core. In case you couldn't tell, I was being extremely sarcastic right now. Amberlynn decided to go on Younow, and I love when Amberlynn Reid goes live on Younow or on Instagram, because I do think we get to see a more unedited, unfiltered version of herself, and that's when the cracks really start to show and the fat folds are finally exposed. So she went on Younow and she started talking about me pretty much from the beginning, which I was kind of surprised about, because people ask her on Instagram every fucking day, because that's all she has to do is just do Instagram Q&As all day, every day. And they have been asking her, like, oh, have you been watching Michael Lawrence? Have you seen his videos? Blah, 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 blah. And I want to just thank you all out there for just, like, getting me in her brain. And, like, I love taking up space in other people's brains. Like, if you can't tell, I'm pretty fucking petty, and I kind of get off on it a little bit. But, and she's always just replied with, I don't know who that is, or I don't watch his videos. And then it slowly morphed into, I don't like him because he's mean, or he belittles people, or blah, 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 blah. You could tell that I was starting to take up more brain space and more, my dog's fucking barking. You could tell that I was starting to take up a little bit more space in her brain, and that was starting to bother her a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to do you guys a favor, and I went through her Younow, and I watched it, and I'm going to react to a little bit of it for you. That's right, I endured all the annoying tongue clicking and the annoying fucking her answering her text on her phone while she's on Younow, pretending to actually give a fuck. And I'm just going to react to that now. So without further ado, here we go. One thing that I found pretty interesting in the video is that she talks about how she doesn't watch my videos, but she watches Pam's videos.
Super long. Like, everyone keeps talking about, like, Michael Lawrence. Like, I've never watched the man, and I don't plan on ever watching him. I've heard really bad things about him, so I'm not even going there. But there is this one girl named Pam, and I actually decided to watch her, and I watch all her videos about me. I'll, like, skim through, though, because I can't sit and watch the whole thing. And I think the reason why I watch her is because she's a hypocrite, and it's actually entertaining to watch it. I don't know. I think I understand why people watch me now. Like, I wouldn't say she's a train wreck, but no, she's not a train wreck. That's not the right word. I don't want to be mean. It's just seeing someone be such a hypocrite is entertaining to me.
I find that to be incredibly telling that she chooses to watch someone like Pam Talks. I don't really have anything against Pam Talks. She's in a different lane than I am or whatever, but I think it's easier to listen to Pam Talks and to find her more hateful. I try to come at her with more of a critical lens. I do say some things that are petty every now and then, and I own up to that, but I do try to brighten or put a spotlight on a lot of the inconsistencies in Amberlynn's stories and her life and the bullshit that she spews all the time. With Pam does go fucking in. She goes really fucking in, and almost to a point where, I mean, I don't really fuck with Pam like that, so I mean, whatever, but she really does go in. And so I think it's easier for Amberlynn to say, like, here, look at this woman. This person represents more of the people who make videos about me. Of course she's not going to choose Zachary. Of course she's not going to choose me. Of course she's not going to choose Sarcastic Potato or Willow. She's going to choose the person who seems to be the most a little bit unstable a little bit, and then use that to personify every single person under this umbrella of people who make videos about her. Now, I think it would be a lot harder for her to come at me like that, and she's starting to a little bit, but I think that she may find me a little bit intimidating, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I do think that she finds me a little bit intimidating. My sexuality intimidates her because she can't come at me because I'm a straight person. My skin color, I think, intimidates the fuck out of her, because I'm also a person of color, and I do think that, I don't want to say everyone in that household, but I want to say there are certain individuals that say a lot of, they skirt that line a lot, in my opinion, and they do love tokenism in that house. That's like their favorite thing to do, is to be like, oh, that's the black friend, or oh, that's the Latina friend, or oh, I know this person. So I do think that like there's a lot of ignorance in that house, and I do think she's afraid that I may ruffle her fat folds enough to like make her say something that she can't take back. So I do think that's why she chooses to watch someone like Pam Talks over someone like me or Zachary or Willow or Sarcastic, like, because it's easier to just put us all in this one group and then to say like, here, that's the person that represents everyone, when that's obviously not the case. Zachary is far more respectful than even I am. Sarcastic Potato she's literally just satire. She's sarcastic as fuck. Willow comes at a place of like dry humor. I don't think Willow's even really he's not even mean. So, but I do think it's interesting that like she's going to like use Pam to like put us all in this umbrella of the people who kind of talk about her. But it doesn't really surprise me, because it's like low-hanging fruit at that point. So I want to address the whole me saying that Crystal's parents paid Amberlynn to take care of Crystal.
People message me and say that he thinks that I was being paid to take care of Crystal. What? Like, what? That's like a conspiracy. Like,
now, I mean, I've talked about this in a video before. I said it was a theory. I don't know if it's true or false or whatever, but I find it highly suspicious that two adults, two parents, would pay someone, a 23-year-old, mind you, someone who's fully capable and able-bodied to work, $1,500 or $1,700 a month to just exist in their house for nothing. Okay, for years. And they did that for fucking years. They supported her. I mean, first of all, to be so fucking low that you're willing to just take money from strangers like that. Not only are they fucking sheltering you and feeding you, but now they're giving you an allowance every month. I think that there are more strings involved in that whole transaction than she's willing to be forthcoming about. And that's just my feeling on that. And I'm not going to take it back. I think that there was a symbiotic relationship between Crystal's parents paying Amberlynn to be around their daughter. Sorry. I mean, that's 2 + 2. That's just what it is. And I'm not taking that back. I'm not going to skirt back that theory or whatever, because I think that that's probably closer to the truth and then even she or Crystal even want to admit to. So if that makes me a bitch, then whatever. I really don't fucking care. So then she goes into playing on how I'm insecure.
Michael Lawrence is so insecure, it pains me that nobody else can see that. I feel like for people to make horrible videos about somebody, there's a difference between constructive criticism.
First of all, me making these videos proves that I'm not I have insecurities in my life, and I've talked about them in my past videos. I have no qualms with being forthcoming and truthful about the insecurities that I have in my life. I feel like I don't do this well enough. I feel like my body isn't where I want it to be. I am insecure about school. I'm always very I'm almost 30 years old and I feel like I should be farther along in life than I am. There's a lot of things in my life that I'm pretty forthcoming about and I'm pretty open about. Me being insecure and having that relate to me making videos about her is the most dumb fucking, I don't even understand what she's trying to compare. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I sit on here, I show my face, I'm not afraid to speak my truth or to speak with my opinion on things, and you don't have to take my opinions or what I'm trying to tell you as fact or whatever. I mean, I do try to come with facts and I do my damnedest to make sure that I'm coming from a place of honesty. There's nothing insecure about these videos that I make about you. I see the inconsistencies and the lies that you tell, and so I poke holes in them, and that's just all I really do. I'm not fucking it doesn't take a rocket scientist to come on here and do this. It really fucking doesn't. And if anything, I'm pretty confident in what I have to say, and I never double talk. I never take back what I'm saying. I'm pretty strong-willed, and I stick to my guns, and that just is what it is. I don't think an insecure person would be able to come on here and put and expose themselves, because honestly, at the beginning of this, I did not know if people were going to like what I had to say, and there seems to be a large number of people out there that agree with what I have to say, and that is what it is. And I think that shows more to your fan base than it does to mine. I think that the majority of the people out there don't fucking like you, and that's why they watch you. And I think that they wanted a voice out there that was speaking some truth into the bullshit that you espouse. And if I had come on here and I had made these videos about you and I had gotten a slew of hate, I would have stopped a long time ago. That's just the truth. But it took off, and now I'm almost at 13,000 subscribers in a month and a half, in 2 months. So obviously this is working, and obviously people fucking care about what I have to say. And as I'm confident enough to come on here and keep doing it, fight me. I don't know. So I really don't like to fucking criticize someone for receiving any kind of help or support in their mental health journey or whatever. I just think it's very interesting that she saw a therapist. I don't know if she saw a therapist. Maybe she Skyped in a therapist. I don't fucking know. But I do think it's interesting that she went and saw this therapist, and then she instantly comes on here and starts talking about what her therapist is doing and da-da-da-da, and how the therapist is suggesting this and how the therapist thinks she should get off YouTube.
Clear to me. I have talked to my therapist. He knows exactly what I do for my job, and I explained to him, like, the whole situation, like, everything. And I've learned a lot, and that I need to let go of, people like Michael Lawrence. So it's part of the healing process. Do you think YouTube has a negative impact on your weight loss journey? Thank you, Brian, for the bars. I appreciate that a lot. I feel like, thank you, Sam, for the bars. From what I have discovered from having a therapist, thanks to you guys, so don't come at me for talking about this a lot, he made me realize that things that happen in my past and in my current can have a lot to do with why I am depressed, why I overeat, why I binge eat, why I'm an emotional eater. And my therapist has told me YouTube is one of those things that is causing you to be like this. And he told me to weigh out pros and cons to, getting a different job. But to me, there's more pros to having YouTube as a job than there is cons. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's working for me, and I'm going to do my do and figure it out, because I don't want to give up YouTube. I never do.
Because which I think is true. I think that if that therapist is real and he's telling her to get off YouTube, I think he's only doing that to benefit her. I think he's trying to be like, you need to save your life, girl. You in danger, girl. And you need to get up out of here and fucking stop doing this shit on YouTube, because you're literally killing yourself. But Amberlynn, of course, isn't going to do that, because this is her meal ticket, and this is her only skill set. So poor Amberlynn all she has is being fat on YouTube. That's it. That's her whole identity, is being a fucking joke on YouTube. And without this, she doesn't have an education. She's not good with people. She can't stand for more than a couple minutes at a time. So what else is she going to do? How is she going to put food on the table? And we all know the amount of money that she spends on her food. So it's like she's pretty much stuck at this point. And I just think it's interesting that she's not even willing to, like, take her therapist's advice on this, or to even cut back or not show as much. She's just like gonna just flat out just deflect it, or just not even hear it and be like, well, no, I think there's more pros, because she knows, right? Because she knows she's the all-knowing being or whatever. It's fucking stupid. Okay. And then I don't know what it is about Younow, but for some reason, when Amberlynn comes on Younow, she acts a damn fool, and she always goes into these fucking delusional she goes into these delusional tirades about transphobia, and she always brings up Casey. And I know that people are asking her questions about Casey because it's obviously pressing, and people want her to clarify herself and to, I think they want her to be accountable for what she says and does. But Amberlynn always doubles down. She's like the Donald Trump of YouTube. Like, instead of, being like, no, there weren't any racists at the rally, no, there were people on good sides. Well, she's literally that person. And they bring up the whole transphobia thing, and she goes into this fucking deluded tirade about how she's not transphobic.
And that makes me really sad that people think I'm transphobic. I don't know actually where that ever came from, because one of my very, 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 very best friends is transgender. So I don't know why anyone would ever say that. When I have talked about my ex before, I have slipped and said her when he is now a he, and I did it a lot, and I can say that 100%. It's because when you first find out that someone is transgender, especially someone that you knew for years, literally years, as a he or a she, it is so hard. It's so hard to change what you once knew. And when I was dating my ex, he was a she. So I feel like there's two different people. There's Cassidy, and then there's Casey. I was dating Cassidy, who was a girl, and then now there's Casey, who is a guy. So when I talk about Cassidy, I do say she, and I don't mean to offend anybody at all when I do that. I am not transphobic. I preach. Like you can go on my Instagram and look. Like, I like old stuff. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect. I shouldn't even have to sit here and preach it because someone literally just said AL is transphobic. So no matter what I say, it's never going to change anything. If I disagreed, you guys would know that. Like, I am here and open, like an open book. But again, my best friend is transgender, so I can't sit there and be best friends with someone if I was transphobic. That doesn't make any sense. Literally makes sense.
When there's clips to prove that she's transphobic.
Very, very depressed because I opened up about something that was 100% true. And I'm coming to tell you that she completely lied. And so I sat there and made this whole other video on September 23rd, 2016. That is, how long is this? Wait. 22 minutes and 29 seconds long. Talking about everything that Casey lied about when we first started dating, the things that I went through while being with her, more things.
They're all freaking out because you keep going Casey to her. Okay.
I'm sorry. When I was with her,
when Cassidy was a she.
I was
We're
with
not talking
her.
about Casey, we're talking
I was with her as a girl. So I'm talking about Casey, the girl that I was with. That's who she was.
Cassidy.
But they know her as Casey, so
I
it's
know.
confusing. It's confusing, trust me.
So, and then she continuously just digs that hole deeper and deeper. So she goes on to say about how she can't go on to be transphobic because she has a very, 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 very best friend who is trans. Where this person came from, I have no idea. I always find it incredibly hilarious how when she feels like she's stuck in a corner somewhere, she can't back her way out, she creates an imaginary friend that she's had forever that's so convenient to fit her narrative of how she's not this or she's trying to do this. Now, this brought me back to the whole thing when people say and do racist shit and they're like, I can't be racist. I love black people. Or I can't be racist. I have a black friend. You can be, newsflash out here, and this is everyone, this is some fucking advice for everyone. You can be racist or transphobic or all of the above and still fraternize or like communicate with those types, with people like that. So you can be a racist and have black friends. That whole fucking theory of like I can't be racist, it's fucking bullshit. Like it's just an excuse for you to be racist, to be real. Like, and it fucking boils my blood, and it's in fact just more tokenism. It's like, well, I can't be racist. Like, it's so annoying. But it's not only that, right? So she goes on and she does all this shit, and then she goes on this tirade of how she's an advocate for people's respect, and she preaches respect for everyone, while then continuously disrespecting her ex and misgendering him and dead naming him over and over and over again. And you claim to be this advocate for LGBT rights, right? And the T stands for transgender, if you don't realize that, you fucking moron. It stands for transgender. So for you to sit here and not even be at all knowledgeable and like the plights and the trials of a trans person in this day and age is fucking annoying. And you claim to be like this LGBT rights person. Like, come on, bitch. Like, you couldn't even bother to go to your own pride. Like, who are you trying to fool here? And the reason people think you're transphobic is because you didn't come on here one time and misgender Casey. You've done it multiple times. And you continue to do it. You even do it later in this fucking Younow broadcast.
The relationship mutually open. Yeah, because she had some, at the time, she was a she. So, Cassidy also had a girlfriend.
Like, come on. Also goes on to this, like, and the thing that really gets me too about all this is the misgendering of Casey and her hypocrisy around it, right? So she talked earlier about how she's been watching Pam, and if you don't remember, she went on Instagram or Snapchat or something, and she went on this tirade about how disgusting Pam is because she referred to Becky as an it. And if you're wondering why I don't fuck with Pam, that's one of the reasons why I don't fuck with Pam.
It was only a few minutes later, but she has called Becky desperate. She called Becky a him, a guy, a thing. I'm completely over this woman. I just think it's crazy that people are supporting this, that someone who is being absolutely homophobic, calling Becky a him, and just being very, very cruel and judging Becky based on her appearance when Becky did nothing to her. I get it. Make fun of me. Call me fat. Do this, do that. Like, I don't care. It's my channel. But, like, you're a low-life woman. Like, you look like you're, like, 70 years old. So, do you want to waste your time just being cruel? Or would you rather spend your last, 10 years alive or however long, being more positive and uplifting? Like,
so, and I did agree with Amber in some aspect of like why of that being wrong, because I do think it's wrong. I don't think it's okay to do that. Now, I think it's interesting that Amber can be so up in arms and so pissed about it when Pam does it to Becky, but she doesn't see anything wrong with when she does it to Casey. Okay? And then to top it all off, this isn't the first time that Amber's been mad at when her partner's been misgendered. Now, Destiny was misgendered at a cheesecake factory a long-ass fucking time ago.
So we just left the mall, and I want to share something that happened at the cheesecake factory. I don't know if it was a mean thing of me to do or what, but the waitress kept calling Destiny a sir, and it's like, Destiny does not look like a sir. Don't care what you say. I understand she has short hair, beautiful short hair, but she has girl features. Like, I don't understand, and her tits are huge. Anyways, so we're not the type of people who are gonna say anything. Like, that's just how we are. But when she gave us back our receipt and I wrote the tip down and I signed it and all that, I wrote, P.S. she's a girl. Like,
we don't actually, you know what, I don't even know if it's true, because it started off as the waitress calling Destiny a sir, and then it turned into Destiny being called an it.
Destiny was up getting something. Mind you, the waitress was super fucking sweet. I'm just gonna say that. But all of a sudden, when Destiny got up, she started calling Destiny an it. Not a girl, not a female, not a she, not even a fucking he, which happens sometimes. An it.
And that really rubbed me the wrong way, is because I feel like she made that whole scenario up for some fucking clickbait and a video title and for some content for her channel. Now, the irony that Amberlynn went on this tirade of calling Pam a hypocrite when then she turns around and does the same fucking thing, right? So she gets mad when Becky gets misgendered. She gets mad when Destiny gets misgendered. And then not even within 2 minutes later, she's misgendering Casey again. And after she also went on this huge transphobia, how I'm not transphobic and da-da-da-da-da, and people always get me wrong and blah, 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 blah. Like, it literally is so mind-gratingly stupid, and I don't understand how she doesn't see it, and I don't understand how I think other people see it. I'm not going to say it, because if you go on the Younow and you watch, literally it's nothing but negative comments, just negative, 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 and maybe there'll be like a positive one every now and then, and on it is probably one of the saddest things to watch this girl sit there in front of her fucking phone, or where I think she's on her phone, to sit there on her phone and literally try to find the positive comments during her streams to say them out loud, because they're not there. There's none there. Everyone there is just full on just fucking letting her have it, and it's funny to watch. But she did this to herself. I don't feel bad for her in the slightest that people are on there calling her out on her bullshit, and I think she's a garbage human being, and then therefore she's treated like garbage. Am I supposed to feel bad about that? I'm not. Shocker. So it's just, it really fucking gets me. And people always ask me, like, why do you continue to make videos about her? Why do you continue to do this? Well, she continues to be a train wreck. So it's like, it's hard for me to like, and now that I've amassed some kind of following, like, people are always letting me know like what she's doing and what's happened and what new thing is going on, and I find it hilarious and it's funny. And then they're like, of course I want to make a video or have an opinion about it, because I'm petty as fuck. So like, it's really easy for me to come on here and like make these videos and like talk about the dumb shit that's going on in Amberland, and I will continue to probably do so until I see fit that, or let that fucking go off to the wayside and just let her go and eat herself to bedboundness. I don't fucking know. But I'm going to continue to make these videos, and I don't feel bad for making them. Now, another thing was, I just found it incredibly interesting that she continued to make Casey's gender identity about herself. She continued to say, well, when I was with Casey, this was this, and when I was with Casey, this was that. Bitch, it's not about you. It's not about your feelings. You were with the man for what? A year or two. Like, you weren't in his family, you weren't his sister, you weren't his mother, you weren't his, like, so it shouldn't really be that much skin off your back, or actually it'd be a lot of skin off your back, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal for you to just respect his pronouns and respect his gender, and to stop dead naming him. But you continue to make, and I think that's where it comes from, is because you're so narcissistic that you think everything is about you, and you think that like you have a claim, or your feelings should be more respected than his feelings, when that's not the case. And respecting someone's pronouns is the easiest fucking thing to do. So, and to just respect people in general is the easiest thing to really do. But you continue to come in here and make yourself look like Boo Boo the Fool. And so that, I think that's why people just get so fucking fed up, and they're just so over it, because you will find the most mundane and dumb ways to fucking justify your wrong actions, and it really gets to people, and it's really problematic. And I think that's why people are just fucking over it, because you also come on here and you try to be like a body positive non-fat shamer while fat shaming people, and then you come on here and you espouse LGBT rights, but then you fucking like, you are quick to tear down transgender people, and then no one can make heads or tails of it. So I think that's why people are just like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? What are we watching? This is a fucking train wreck. Now, at the end of the video, I thought it was funny how you got so fucking triggered at the end that you had a fucking rage quit.
Anyways, I hope those who are supporters have a very, very, very good night, and those who like to spread hate, karma will get you, and that's just all I gotta think about. That's all it is. Anyways, you guys for joining, and I will see you guys later.
I'm so scared.
And you ended it with this whole thing about karma, like, to all my supporters out there, I love you, and to like all the haters out there, karma's gonna get you, blah blah blah, bitch. The last time I checked, I'm doing okay, okie dokie right now. You're the one who's almost 550 pounds. You're closing in on 600 pounds. So if karma's affecting anyone in this situation, I would almost be quick to bet that like it might be biting you on the ass, because you've pigeonholed yourself into this corner where you have to eat in order to keep your viewers and to keep your base growing. Because the truth is, your base only started to grow when you started to gain a lot of weight. That's the truth, right? Like, you didn't have a lot of subscribers when you were smaller, and when you were actually a decent person and you were trying to lose weight, and when you lost a little bit of weight. But as soon as you got up to 530 pounds or whatever, your subscribers just grew exponentially. And I think that's just more about your fan base and what you espouse and what people look up to you for than anything else. Because you come on here and you lie repeatedly, you eat your way into into 530 pounds. You consistently manipulate the people around you, and people now want to see how this is all going to unfold and end. And I can't blame people for wanting to know what happens at the end of this car wreck. That just is what it is. I'm not going to go into all this shit about her brother and stuff like that because I personally don't care, and they're all bottom feeders in my book anyway. She did post this Instagram post. Someone I guess counted up my super chats that I got in my live stream the other day, and I guess I made $250, which is fucking cool, and I'm super thankful for that. Like, I don't go on there to make money. I just go on there because it's fun to talk to people, and it's fun to like shoot the shit and do the live stream reactions, and I think it's funny as fuck. Amberlynn goes on Younow with a specific intention of making money. Like, that's the only reason she goes on there, and I would almost argue that there may be a little bit of issues on the money front that we're unaware of or something, and that's why she's been coming on Younow, and she's making these super clickbaity videos as of late where she's dancing for milliseconds because that's all she can dance for, and showing the full body shots. Someone posted like, oh, Michael Lawrence made $250 in his live stream last night, and she put like poor guy or something, or she put only $250, poor guy. Now, I think that speaks to your character more than that speaks to mine on any front. You're obviously new money, and that shows in that aspect, because I really don't come on here to do this for money. I've been good before. I'll be good after. I have skill sets. I have an education. I have knowledge. I have a work ethic. I have people around me that do actually care about me and aren't just with me because I make easy money by stuffing my fucking fat face on YouTube every day. I would never say something like that. I would never compare like my numbers to someone else's numbers, and that proves to me that like you did grow up in fact poor, and let's not get it twisted, right? So let's say you make $10,000 a month. Let's just go and say that's a real thing or whatever. You live in one of the states where like the mean income is the lowest in the country. So of course, when you're making even $5,000 a month, you're fucking living high on the hog over there or whatever. And I think it's easy for you to sit there and be like, yeah, I make all this fucking money while you live in Kentucky. And I'm not saying that it's not great to live in a state like that or whatever, but like, let's be real. It's like, let's put in all the socioeconomic numbers and stats and really break down like why it is you think that you live so high and why you think you're so mighty and why you're the queen of your fucking castle. You live in a state where the gross mean income is fucking low, and so you do live like you have a lot of money where you live, but you do just go to Walmart every day and you eat the majority of your money. So I mean, I wouldn't even know how much money you've saved, but I just think it's gross that you would like say that on Instagram, like, and it really shows who you are. And when we talk about karma, that's why you're continuing to balloon in your weight, because you have this sick fucking mindset and you can't get out of this fucking loop, and you continue to be just a garbage person. So you know what? It is what it is. You continue on your lane. I'll continue on mine. You keep fucking giving me content and I'll keep making it. I really, honestly, we could just keep going. It's really not that big. It's no sweat off my back to go on here and make these videos. In fact, I think it's funny as fuck. It gives me an outlet. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you want to think about me getting roasted by Amberlynn Reid on Younow. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, toodles.